Hello, everyone, and welcome to one of Digital Transformation's live series episodes. I'm Ali Soofastaei, an AI program leader in Valley and Soofastaei Institute CEO. Our live interviews have been designed to develop the knowledge of applied data science and advanced analytics in different industries aimed to touch Industry 4.0. These live sessions are held every week with the presence of one of the university professors, industrial experts in the field of Industry 4 and digital transformation. Today, we will discuss Industry 4.0 opportunities and challenges. Mr. Rajaneesh Kini. As a Chief Technology Officer, Raj builds a knowledge roadmap that determines the technology solutions landscape. He tries to create competitive, relevant, market-ready offerings and solutions and identify new skills required across his organization. Rajneesh has over 23 years of experience in the engineering and software industry across industry verticals, including communications, health, industrial, and tech platforms. His experience shows that we need to go through the Industry 4.0 as soon as possible, and his expertise lies in building engineering capabilities and solutions in VLSI, embedded cloud software, data platforms, connectivity, security engineering, and Industry 4.0. Welcome, Rajneesh, and thanks for accepting my invitation to be with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome and introduction.
As a first question, Raj, I'm very interested in having something about your background. What is the story that led you to your current role, or actually, what is your background?
Sure. Yeah. So I think back in 90s when I started, it all started with communication engineering, right? I was focused on building routers, provisioning systems, a mix of communication engineering and embedded systems, right? So that's where I started with. And over a period of time, communication started going into multiple industries, right? So connectivity was not just for telephone communication, but it was also for machines to connect. And therefore, it started going into manufacturing, it started going into automotive, mining, utilities, right, across the industries. And I got a role where I had to kind of help my organization to take the connectivity services across these industries, right? That's where I started going and trying to help various industries to build that connectivity services. What I learned in first few years of doing that is the connectivity piece is the probably like 10-15% of what those industries needs to do, because once they are connected, there is a lot more to do on that stack, right? Building the sensor technologies, making the products more intelligent, then building applications on top of that, because there is a lot of data coming in and you need to make sense out of that data. So I started about 10 years back, I started going into this domain where not just connectivity, but using connectivity, making the products more and more intelligent, making the process more and more intelligent, and helping our customers work in a more efficient environment using all the technologies like connectivity, embedded systems, cloud systems, geospatial systems, as well as VLSI for that matter, right? So that's a journey I started about 10 years back with one of the organizations, and now with Scient, where my job is to make sure we use these 5 pillars to enable Industry 4.0 as well as various digitalization or digital transformation journeys for our customers.
That's great. It's interesting background, and I believe that your job position is very challenging, but it's for somebody, it's an aim, it's a dream job to do this. But yeah, that's great. As a specialist, Raj, we heard about Industry 1, 2, 3, and now Industry 4. And sometimes somebody's talk about Industry 5 as well in these days. But what's the exact definition or correct definition of Industry 4.0?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I think in my mind, there are various phases of industrial revolution, and definitely 3.0 to 4.0 to 5.0 is a journey. Uh, but what's happening now, especially in this decade, compared to the previous versions of industrial revolution, is that the technology has evolved so fast, and the evolution is even faster in this decade. And there are various technologies that are coming together, right, to evolve
Mhm.
and as well as provide a bigger impact to the industrial environment, to the society, to generally for all human beings. For example, products are becoming more and more software driven, more and more intelligent. Connectivity like 5G, low power WAN networks, etc., are becoming more and more easy to access. Satellite communication is much more accessible. Advanced robotics, autonomous systems are much more feasible, right? And the technology can enable that. These are all possible because of various technologies coming together and maturing at the same time. Technology can be your embedded systems, embedded AI, cloud, sensor technologies, sustainable energy technologies, right? All of them coming together, data science for that matter. So for me, Industry 4.0 is driven by convergence of technologies to yield outcomes of about 5 outcomes that industry is looking for, right? So first one is improved design and efficiency for operations, better control and predictable nature of operations, more sustainable business. Then when it comes to a lot of operations now, people want to, after COVID especially, right? People want it to be more remotely managed, monitored, and operate. So there is intelligence coming in, but you can also do it remotely with a lot of autonomous systems in place. And finally, it's all about better well-being of people, right? We know in 18th century to 19th century, workers who are in, let's say, mining environment or industrial environment had a lot of hardship. It's about improving that life for human beings in general, using all these technologies, whether it is better control, improved efficiency, sustainable energy, but bring in all those things to make sure we have a better environment to operate. In my mind, that's what Industry 4.0 or 5.0 journey is all about.
That's great. I could extract some keywords from your answer. You talk about connectivity, sustainability, efficiency, prediction, optimization, and maybe making decision or something like that. It means that we are facing with a multi-dimensional challenge named Industry 4.0. It's not just about technology. I believe that in this concept, we need to be concerned about something like human, something about community, something about it is a culture. You have to talk about the culture 4.0. You want to change the industry in different dimension, and I believe that this is the beauty of this concept, because we don't like just to develop the technology, because we know that increasing the technology has been limited by some other parameters, same as systems, management, human, something like that.
Yeah.
But I want to to know more about how the new technology we named AI, for example, or machine learning, because based on the some concepts that you mentioned, same as prediction or optimization, we know that machine learning in these days and artificial intelligence uh, play critical role for in industry 4.0. My question for you now is that what is the importance of applying machine learning and AI based solutions to business problems?
Yeah, AI has become really an essential component in business strategy, right? Because over the last 50 plus years, AI has been there, but the power of AI is leveraged more and more with cloud technologies, with platform technologies. I think about 1 week back, we saw OpenAI is launching a very strong product with the AI component, which is making a lot of waves. But the bigger thing is that enterprises are starting to use AI to make real impact to business and
Mhm.
the profitability. I was reading a McKinsey survey which was showing that out of the respondents, at least 5% of EBIT impact due to AI was acknowledged by 27% of respondents to that survey. That means 27% of enterprises are finding AI making about 5% or more impact to their EBIT, which means it's kind of part of your business and it's not like a standalone technology. It's starting to make a difference to day-to-day business in terms of revenue growth, profitability, as well as remaining competitive, right? The narrow AI to generate general AI to more cognitive AI journey is much more faster, and therefore you can use a lot of use cases. Like for example, automation as a use case was very well known, but now we are talking about more and more intelligent use cases, right? Where you can build more intelligent products, autonomous systems, robotics that can operate without human being, very remote monitoring for mining environment. So there are a lot of use cases that are absolutely necessary to remain competitive in this environment. So in my mind, importance of AI is not just about the technology element, but the business element of it. And it's part of your business strategy that you have to adopt. If not, you may not remain competitive any longer.
Raj, you talk about AI and machine learning implementation in industry, and we know that there are a lot of use cases for having this type of not luxury, it's a practical right now technology. We want to talk about a little more about the application of this type of the technology. How does digitalization make industrial operations more efficient? For example, in productivity, energy efficiency, safety, and environmental protection. I know that is a very wide and general question, but it would be great if you can, just give us some examples about the application and the benefit of having this technology for improving energy efficiency, productivity, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, I think AI has evolved a lot from just being used for trend analysis or pattern analysis, right? From that, it has evolved a lot more where you can make real-time impacts. A few scenarios, you mentioned about efficiency, you mentioned about safety, environmental protection. Let me start with the environmental protection, right? Uh, we are working with mining companies. There is a tailings management issue that mining companies are facing, right? Where it is all about the tailings dam that they create and how do you make sure it's safe? And you might have heard about some of the recent issues where a tailing dam burst and it kind of created a lot of damage to the villages around, right? So you need to monitor and manage the risk involved with tailings dams, and along with geospatial capability, S3 solution, as well as AI coming together, we have created a solution so that you can monitor these dams on a continuous basis in terms of the vibrations, in terms of the water levels, in terms of any kind of cracks, in terms of any kind of challenges that you may face with such a dam, so that proactively and predictively you can stop those challenges or risks to safeguard the village, safeguard the environment around it. Right? But it creates a lot of damage otherwise. So that's one application of safety and environmental protection I would call out. In terms of efficiency and productivity, it can be used in manufacturing inspection automation, right? So we work with a customer to implement manufacturing inspection so that when the product comes out, you can, within seconds, you can monitor or inspect that equipment that is coming out or the device that is coming out and see if there are any kind of soldering issues, any kind of minor structural issues, anything, so that before it goes to the next stage, you can identify that. And these are about using very high powerful cameras on real time, using AI to see whether it meets all the required compliance requirements before it moves to the next stage of production, right? That kind of stops issues in advance rather than the product going through the production, a lot of wastage in efficiency in terms of productivity, energy, all of that, so that you can discard at the earliest, right? That's another example of productivity improvement. A lot of other examples in terms of energy efficiency you can call out in sustainable business platforms that are coming out, where you can continuously monitor energy or water wastage or any kind of carbon footprint kind of wastage, so that you can take real-time calls, real-time adjustments using autonomous systems to better improve the energy efficiency, reduce water wastage, as well as reduce general carbon footprint impacts, right? So these are some of the 2-3 examples that we work with our customers in mining, manufacturing segment, as well as in the utility segment.
Beautiful. As you can see in my background, I have worked in mining area for a long time, and specifically in the field of using AI and machine learning in different operations. But as my personal experience is that previously when we talked with in some traditional industry managers, same as mine manager, they wanted to have machine learning or other modern technologies to improve their productivity. They thought just about the revenue, about the quantity and the quality of the material. And they forced us to use any available technology to improve their efficiency and productivity. But everything has been changed in the recent year. And now when we want to encourage mining companies to use the AI or machine learning, they will ask us to think about sustainability and also reduce carbon and improve safety, because they found that these aspects or these applications of new technology would be more useful for them instead of just focusing on revenue or money. Now they are thinking about other aspects of these benefits. And I believe that it's a great change, and it would be the revolution in using AI or machine learning in mining industry. And I believe that in other industries we have same story, and the management decisions already changed, and now they are thinking about other benefits, and this new technology can help them in this area. But you talk about the different aspects of using machine learning AI or in overall digitalization. I want to just ask a specific question related to your experience. What are the industry's most significant areas for using digital solutions?
Yeah, from an outcome perspective, right, I think the biggest areas are what I called out in the beginning, right? The improved efficiency, right? That's probably the number one. Greater control on your process, right? So that you can monitor it at each stage and avoid any kind of risks, wastages, all of that. Then we're talking about sustainability. You mentioned that's a very, very big topic, right? So these are some of the areas Industry 4.0 can add value. But now when you talk about digital solutions, right? The digital solutions have evolved in a lot of areas, right? So it can be used in digital manufacturing process, right? Or a digital mining process, for example, which is about process automation, right? So that's where like the PLM technologies, product lifecycle management technologies have improved significantly to be able to provide an end-to-end coverage to such processes, right? So that's first part of the manufacturing automation, product lifecycle management, etc. The second part is asset management, right? On an ongoing basis, how can you make sure your assets in your plant, assets in your mining environment are monitored, maintained to avoid any kind of plant downtime, etc., so that overall operational efficiency is improved, right? So that's another area. The third area, which is about digital twins, right? So that's one of the evolved areas and continuously evolving, where earlier days we were talking about digital twins where you can remotely watch something as a digital twin during design stage as well as during production stage. But now we are talking about real-time digital twins, which means you can wear a HoloLens, or where you enter into a plant and walk through the plant. And while you're looking at the actual asset, you can also see the digital twin on your lens, so that you know about what is the temperature that equipment is operating about, what is the energy efficiency that equipment is or asset is operating, what is the health condition of that asset, all of that, so that somebody who is walking through can take real-time actions rather than a more remote or more historical view of the assets, right? So that's digital twin really evolving to the next stage and making an impact. That impact is in product development. It could be in design customization, shop floor performance, predictive maintenance. It could be in logistic optimization. So various areas, right? So I would say these are some of the key areas. Of course, there are more technology applications like continuous analytics. I would call it manufacturing analytics or mining, geodata analytics, etc., which can also benefit on a continuous basis. But I think these 3-4 areas are very, very key for the digital transformation journey.
Beautiful. Yeah, you mentioned different significant or important areas for using digital solutions, but I believe that one of the beauty of having digital solutions is integration, because we can think about having a comprehensive and integrated solutions for the business, instead of just focusing on one specific area, providing the solution to solve one problem. Now we can think about, for example, value chain, because digital solution can give us this opportunity to think about having the comprehensive solution. Yeah, and I believe that the companies now is focusing in this area because they found that solve a specific problem in some specific area maybe can make some some problems for upstream and downstream operations. So having the more data using advanced analytics or something like that can help us to provide end-to-end solutions or integrated solutions to cover different areas together. So you talk about different areas or different aspects of digital solutions, but to have a better sense, I want to talk about some use cases. And can you give examples of how digital approach can practically solve business and operation challenge in different industries?
Yeah, sure. We'll probably take 2 examples, right? The first one could be applicable for manufacturing or mining production plants, right? So when you have a plant that has to operate on a continuous basis, and you have a lot of challenges, including COVID-induced challenges, including sustainability-based needs, including your worker safety type challenges, the production planning is a critical element, right? And AI and the intelligent products or intelligent assets that you have can really make a difference there, right? It's not just about automating tasks, transforming into a digital world or using digital twins, but it's also about bringing in cognitive intelligence to create your production plan. What that means is, if you can understand what is the kind of need that your consumers need or your buyers need, and what is the supply available, and connect the dots between all of that, you can really make a plan which is very, very efficient, optimized production and output, better energy efficiency, all of that, right? And that's where AI can come in. What are your gaps, right? I was just talking to one of the customers few weeks back, and they are into automotive industry, and they created a lot of automotive ecosystem. That means they created buses, cars, etc. But one small component in the chipset missing has kind of stopped their release of those production. That kind of accumulates a lot of wastage waiting for final delivery, right? So you're not able to deliver your goods to the external world. And that's where the planning can be much more sophisticated using AI technologies, cognitive intelligence, starting from your supply, spare parts, workforce management, your plant health itself, energy efficiency, all of that can be connected to make sure your output is very, very accurate as per the and consumers. And that brings in a lot of benefits for profitability, efficiency, and all of that, right? That's number one. And again, this can be delivered with AI and mathematical techniques that we use to make sure there is a end-to-end evaluation as well as modeling possible for such scenarios. The other scenario is I would call out on utilities side. Utilities had almost last 100 years, energy always used to flow in one direction, production to consumers. But now consumers are producing energy as well through various channels like solar channels and other means, which means you need a lot of AI techniques to make sure energy transition is efficiently handled. Smart grid analytics, use of techniques like AI to make sure the billing happens based on availability of energy and usage of energy, right? So synchronized is key going forward, right? So whether it is your distribution management systems in a plant, in oil and gas, or in electric utilities, or even in water related utilities, these techniques come in very handy to make sure your production and utilization is very very much synergized, right, and efficient. So these are two examples I would call out, but we can take out mining examples, other industries as well. But for sake of time, I think these two are very key use cases.
Thank you so much. That's great. That's great examples. So let's talk about a little personal question that I have for you, because I know that you are very active in the field of digitalization and also innovation. Innovation is one of the area that you are working on that, and in these days we have different new technologies, same as blockchain, AI, digital twin, cloud analytics, or something like that. Uh, what are some of the new digital technologies or innovations that you are particularly excited about?
Yeah, I think there are multiple of them, but maybe if I have to prioritize top 3, 4, I would say AI coming into products is becoming more and more intelligent, as well as products becoming more and more intelligent, as well as using high compute platforms is one of the most important areas, because that means AI is not only in the cloud, which really takes a lot of time for data to go to cloud, process the intelligence and feedback, but you have a lot of embedded intelligence in the device, whether it is about GPUs or the tensor devices that are coming up, or various intelligent high compute solutions coming up, like software defined vehicle, for example, or software defined network, for example, where you can use high compute capability to do AI based algorithms at the edge, is one of the super improvement in technology in my mind, right? That's number one. Number two could be on the application side. How do you use data efficiently is one of the biggest challenges for everybody. And the evolution of no-code, low-code platforms really provides a much faster way to create your applications. We had microservices-based applications in the last 5 years evolving significantly. But how can you do those applications much more faster way with less technology intelligence using no-code, low-code platforms is probably another area I would call out. The third area is definitely on sensor technologies, significant improvement in sensor technologies, not just about the sensors that are developing at the edge, but using image analytics. Can you do more spectral analytics of satellite imagery, right? All of that is improving because of improvement in satellite technology, camera-based technologies, as well as image algorithms, right? So which is all improving significantly. I think these three are really driving most of the changes, which is, I would say again, embedded intelligence, no-code, low-code platforms, and the ability to understand your environment using sensor technologies. Combination of these three things, right, converging, is probably the most exciting aspect for me.
That's great. So in mining industry right now, we are looking for all of these new technologies that you mentioned, and we are interested in having these technologies. For example, for sensors, now we are developing the soft sensing and using the soft sensors in different operations that we have. So, Raj, you mentioned the different benefits of digitalization, but we know that digitalization is not a cost-free uh, task for us, and we need to pay for that. We need to invest in this field, and sometimes investment would be little painful for traditional industries, same as mining or oil and gas. What benefits have you seen in different industries encouraging them to invest in digital transformation?
Yeah, very good question. I think if at the end of the day business do not see that benefit, then the technology is just a means and it does not yield the results. But I think the number one benefit of businesses should start looking for is improved customer engagement, right? How can you really make customer part of the journey, right? And it's not just about creating that customer experience, but customers being part of the decision making. And a lot of technologies that are coming in really makes you enables you to provide those kind of services to customer, which means, yeah, let's say I'm just taking a case of an automotive industry, right? You have cars coming out, but cars can come out with basic features, which is basically autonomous driving or transportation. But then you can have customer engaged with you to subscribe to features on an ongoing basis, right? Which means you can add a particular feature to the car, whether it is moving from ADAS level 2 capabilities to level 3 capabilities, or any other capability, right? In terms of, let's say, better music system, right? Better image analytics system for the car, etc. Customers can really buy and subscribe to that on an ongoing basis. A lot of OTA technologies, over the air capabilities to upgrade your systems, provides that kind of customer engagement capability and customer experience capability, purely because of the digital technologies. Now, that's number one. If I look at from a business perspective, uh, you can improve your speed of going to market significantly using better processes, product PLM technologies, right, and efficient processes and automation that we talked about, better design, virtual designs, as well as monitoring that on a continuous basis. So that's a key benefit, right? Better improved go-to-market time is definitely number two in that segment. Number three is an ongoing benefit to customers through remote diagnostics or remote operations, right, that you can bring to the table. This could be in the healthcare industry. If you are providing equipments to hospitals, can you continuously monitor those devices and make sure you're improving the uh, uh, health of those equipments and providing feedback? It could be in a factory environment where you are monitoring the health of the equipment remotely, diagnostics on at the real time basis, providing feedback. It could be in mining industry, right? So I think these are three key areas I would call out. Better customer engagement is number one. Improved go to market is number two, and number three is how can you provide continuous aftermarket services to make sure customer satisfaction continues to be at the top level.
That's great. You are super organized to answer the questions, and it would be great for the audience because they can make a scientific article after listening this interview. Thanks, Raj. Raj, you already talked about the innovation and technology that you are excited about, but I want to talk about the future of digitalization. Uh, I'm very interested in having some information about what will be happening in the future. I'm speaking about the close future, not the the long-term project or same as the science fiction movies, but what are you most excited about the future of digitalization?
Yeah, that's a good question. In fact, in the last 6 months, we did a thought leadership article which was published by Science in our website by talking to about 2,000 customers, right, and taking feedback from various analysts. And the study kind of pointed to 5 areas, right, which is very exciting 5 areas. Number one is definitely the evolution of smart operations, which means better work-life balance for people who are operating those plants, right? So smart operations. Number two is about intelligent mobility, right? Shared mobility, autonomous mobility, or intelligent mobility that will lead into more urban air kind of traffic, more intelligent logistics management in plants and mining. All of that intelligent mobility is the number two area. Number three is about digital healthcare, better life overall. How can you have better tracking of? It's not just about patients. It's about there are a lot of regulatory requirements coming up for worker safety and worker health management. So how can you bring in healthcare capabilities into your plant engineering, mining environment, as well as, let's say, utilities and other industries, right? So that's number three. Number four is definitely sustainability, right? I think it's a boardroom topic in every discussion now, because if you are not sustainable, your competitiveness will reduce significantly in next 5 to 10 years. And the investment in that area will significantly be driven by digitalization, so that you can use IoT technologies to measure and monitor on a continuous basis and improve your sustainable index or sustainability index. And last one, I think, is about space technologies making an impact. How can you use space technologies, which is also improving because of a lot of innovation, and make an impact to your industry, and bring in capabilities like satellite communication, earth observation imagery, better positioning systems, navigation systems, etc., to improve life in general, right, for overall for human beings. These are the 5 areas I would call out, and there is a lot of excitement in my mind around how these mega trends will drive our future.
Beautiful. Your answer called something in my mind about the new project that I'm working with some of my friend around the world, and it will be published very soon. Uh, and this is about Life 4.0. And we
Yeah,
want to talk about what will be happen for human life in the digital era, because you can find many different articles, papers, and books about Industry 4.0, but it would be little scary about what will be happen for our future life. And this is the project that I'm working on that, and I'm so excited. I wanted to just take this opportunity to promote this idea as well, because I believe that is important for us to think about the human life in future. So, Raj, you talk about the many different type of benefits and use cases of digital solutions or AI application or something like that. But we know that this is just one side of the coin. And in other side, definitely we are facing with different challenges. What challenges are companies facing using digital solutions?
yeah, that's a good question. I think the biggest challenge I would call out is, how do we evolve the legacy infrastructure that the organizations have, the current enterprises have evolved over a period of time. And it's, you can see a lot of examples that upcoming new companies able to evolve faster because they have nothing to worry about legacy, and they're setting up everything new, compared to an organization which has evolved over 100 years with a lot of legacy infrastructure. Utilities, for example, right? So the utilities infrastructure is really getting to the next stage, and they have to evolve. I was reading somewhere that they have to invest almost 200 billion to really get to the new level of infrastructure, which means, how do you improve your current infrastructure and make it ready for the digital solutions is number one challenge that organizations are facing. And many try to take a very incremental way of doing it, and I don't think that's enough. The time is very less in terms of innovation and speed of innovation over the next 10 years. So they will have to make some calculated calls to make significant changes in their infrastructure and be ready for the new world. And number two is that many organizations try to do digitalization or digital transformation in silos, right? And because that's also because you can't take a big project, entire organization will not be ready. So let's start here, let's start there. But I think that time has come to a limit now, right? So people have to start thinking about digital transformation across the organization, not any longer in siloed environment, and see how the convergence of technology can change the business. It should be part of the business strategy. It should be part of the technology strategy. It should be part of the people strategy for the organizations going forward. And the third one I would call out is the technology has evolved so fast that there is not enough people to deliver those changes, right? So whether it is AI technology or embedded AI, autonomous systems, the capable people who can drive those changes and implement those changes is definitely limited, right? For companies like Scient, it's an opportunity as well where we invest in a lot of solutions that can be reused because we don't have enough people to redo it again and again for our customers. We create those solutions, what we call as scientific solutions, which are platform frameworks that can be taken to customers and speed up their journey. Instead of needing 100 people to do it, can we do it with 30 people because we have only limited manpower, but reusing reusable components or frameworks across the industry, right? That's kind of a solution to a big problem that everybody is facing. But in general, I think the challenges are like 10% of the problem, what you see, right? The 90% is positives, and the environment is very, very positive in terms of those changes at this stage. Especially after COVID, the journey has really become much more faster for enterprises to use these technologies and implement them. And therefore, I would say we should look at how can we really overcome these challenges using digital innovation and solutions or technology solutions and speed up that journey to cross over. Because if you're not doing that now, you're probably not going to remain competitive in any of the markets in the next 2 to 3 years. And there'll be somebody else who will probably start very small, but go much faster and be in the top position in next 2 to 3 years, right? We have seen that in many industries. So look forward to those positives and see how we can use partnerships, use engineering services vendors or engineering services capabilities that are available across the ecosystem. Partnering is very, very key to overcome these challenges and make an impact to your organization.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Your conclusion was excellent. And also it was promising for us because every day we think, oh, how we can tackle with this type of the challenges. But one expert, same as you, that you're very positive about this revolution. It can give us very positive energy to go further and be more energetic. Thank you so much, Raj, for joining us today. This is at the end of this interview, and this episode will be our last episode this year before Christmas. And I want to take this opportunity and say Merry Christmas to all participants who are celebrating the Christmas. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajaneesh Kini, and all participants in the live session. The recorded version of this program will be available on our YouTube channel and other virtual pages on different social platforms. Thanks to all of you. I hope you have benefited from the discussed topics and hope to see you again at the following events. Raj?
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, and it was a pleasure to talk to you and really excited about the journey ahead for all of us.
Thank you so much, Raj. Thank you. Have a great day.